Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the questions of the AMC8 2001 test. This is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure to check it out in the comments below. So let's get into it. Problem 10. A collector offers to buy state quarters for 2,000% of their face value. At what rate, how much, at that rate, how much will Bryden get for his 4 state quarters? So 4 times 0.25, which is $1 in normal value. But state quarters, the collector is offering 2,000% price. So 2,000% price divided by 100 would equal 20 times as much as $1. So 20 times 1 is just 20. So he would get $20 for A. Problem 11. Points A, B, C, and D have the following coordinates. The area of the quadrilateral ABCD is. So instead of writing it all over here, I'm going to make another chart over here like this, bigger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 1, 2. So 3, 2 over here, and 3, -2, A, B, -3, -2 over here, C, and then -3 over here. So that's D. So then we have the following quadrilateral. Now we just have to find the area of this. We can divide this into these two shapes, the triangle over here, and then the rectangle at the bottom. So this has a height of 2, a base of 6. So 6 times 2 divided by 2 is just 6. And then this rectangle has a height 2, and then a base again of 6. So 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, and then 12 plus 6 is 18. So our answer is C, 18. Moving on to problem 12. A, and this symbol I'm just going to call X, so AXB is equal to A plus B minus A over A minus B. Then what is 6x4 in parentheses x3? So 6x4 would just be 6 plus 4 over 6 minus 4. And this just equals 10 over 2, which is 5. And then plug this in over here, we get 5x3, which is just 5 plus 3 over 5 minus 3, which is 8 over 2, which is 4. So our answer is A, 4. Moving on to the next question, problem 13. Of the 36 students in Rochelle's class, 12 preferred chocolate pie, 8 prefer apple, 6 prefer blueberry, and half the remaining preferred cherry, and half prefer lemon. For Rochelle's pie graph showing this data, how many degrees should you use for cherry pie? So since there are 36 students and there are 360 degrees in a circle, we can divide this and get that each student represents 10 degrees. Using this information, we can calculate how many students prefer cherry pie. So out of 36, 12 prefer chocolate, 8 prefer apple, and 6 prefer blueberry, which leaves 24 minus 8, 16, 16 minus 10, which leaves 10 students. And half prefer cherry, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 5 prefer cherry, and that represents 10 times 5, 50 degrees. So the answer is D. Problem 14. Tyler has entered a buffet line in which he chooses one kind of meat, 2 different vegetables, and 1 dessert. If the order of food items is not important, how many different meals might he choose? So he has 3 choices of meat, 4 choices of vegetable, and then since he chooses 2, he first has a choice of 4, and then he has a choice of 3, and then for dessert he has 4 choices. So that would just be these many choices. And now we can multiply all these. So 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 4 is 12 again. So 12 times 12 is 144. But this is not the final answer because we'll be overcounting since we do not care about the order of the food. Because when he chooses the vegetables, say he chooses the baked beans first and then corn, we're counting that as a separate item than if we chooses corn first and then the baked beans. So we need to divide this answer by 2 and get the final answer of 72. So the answer is C. Moving on to the next question, problem 15. Homer began peeling a pile of 44 potatoes at the rate of 3 potatoes per minute. 4 minutes later, Kristen joined him and peeled at the rate of 5 potatoes per minute. When they finished, how many potatoes had Kristen peeled? So if he has 44 potatoes at the beginning, and then he peels at 3 potatoes a minute for 4 minutes, that would be 3 times 4, 12. So Homer has already peeled 12 potatoes, so the 44 minus 12 would equal 32 potatoes. And then they both continue peeling at the same time, so that'd be 8 potatoes a minute. So we do 32 divided by 8, which would be 4 minutes. So they peeled for 4 minutes, and now since we have the time, we can find how many individually Christian peeled. So 5 times 4 is equal to 20. So Christian peeled 20 potatoes, so our answer is A. Next is problem 16. A square piece of paper 4 inches on a side is folded vertically in half. Both layers are then cut in half parallel to the fold. 3 new rectangles are formed, a large one and 2 small ones. What is the ratio of the perimeter of one of the small rectangles to the perimeter of the large rectangle? So we're redrawing this diagram over here. So this is going to be 2, and this is going to be 2. And then these two are cut like this, leaving one big piece, and then 2 small pieces like this. And this would be a 2x4, and this would be a 1x4. And this would just be a replica of this one. So I won't draw this. So finding the perimeter, we just do 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is 10. And same thing for the larger one, 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2, which is 12. The ratio of the smaller one over the bigger one would be 10 over 12, or 5 over 6. So our answer is E. Moving on to the next question, problem 17. For the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the dollar value of each question are shown in the following table. Okay, between which two questions is the percent increase of the value the smallest? So let's just find all the percent increases real quick. So 100 to 200 is a 100% increase. 200 to 300 is a 50% increase. And then moving on to the next one, 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is a 66% increase. And then moving from 11 to 12, which is just under 100% increase. 100% increase would be 128K, but just 125K. So just under 100%. And then 14 to 15, another 100% increase. So obviously we can see the least one is this 50% increase from 2 to 3. So our answer is B. And last problem, problem 18. 2 dice are thrown. What is the probability that the product of the two numbers is a multiple of 5? So the two dices, out of the two dices, the probability that they're multiple of 5. So the multiples of 5, which would be in the two dice, is 6 and 6. The maximum would be 12. So the answers would be either 5 or 10. They have to add up to either 5 or 10. And the one way of getting 5 would just be rolling a 5 in one die, 1 over 6, and getting anything but a 5 in the other die, which would be multiplied by 5 over 6. And next possibility, so we add this, we'll be getting a 5 in the other die. So in the first die, we would have anything but a 5, so 5 over 6, multiplied by 1 over 6. And then after that, there's a possibility of getting a 10. So to get a 10, you must get a 5 and a 5. So 1 over 6 times 1 over 6. So if you multiply this, we get 5 over 36 plus 5 over 36 plus 1 over 36. Add this together and we get 11 over 36 is the final answer. So our answer is D. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Stay tuned for the final part of this video, and see you in the next one.